السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعزائنا الطلبة، أتمنى تكونون أنتوا عوائلكم بصحة وعافية وسلامة. اليوم راح أبدي وياكم أول محاضرة في مادة اللغة الإنجليزية للمرحلة الرابعة في قسم فيزياء الفلك. محاضراتنا راح تكون معتمدة على الكتاب المنهجي New Headway Plus Upper Intermediate. أتمنى كل واحد منكم عنده هذا الكتاب. Depending on our previous studies for English language, we know the English sentence contains subject, verb, object, adverb or adjective. In this lecture, we focus on verb tenses. Depending on action time, we can divide verb tenses to present, past, future tenses. Each of them contains indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous forms. So, the meaning of indefinite tense or simple tense describes an action but don't state whether the action is finished. Continuous tense or progressive tense describes an unfinished action. Perfect tense describes a finished action, and finally perfect continuous tense describes an action which was in progress and then finished. These are simple definition for tense form. Each form of the tense has specific rules, and in this table I summarized the basic formula or the basic rules for each tense. Now, at the beginning, I want to give some note about this table. We can note first form of the verb, second form of the verb, third form of the verb. What's the meaning of all these? Each verb in English, each verb have basic form which is called infinitive form, and second form called past form, and third form called past participle form. So we start with the present for simple case. First form of the verb plus s or es. I want to give some note about the addition of s or es to the infinitive form of the verb for present case. The addition depending on the type of subject of the sentence. We can add s or es to the verb depending on the subject. If we have he, she, or it, we can add s or es to the verb. Otherwise, there is no any addition. Still, we use infinitive form. Progressive forms. Here I see is are. Also, depending on the type of the subject, I am is used for he, she, it, are used for we, they, you. plus infinitive form plus ing. Perfect forms, we have and has. Has used for he, she, it. Otherwise we can use have. A plus past participle or third form of the verb. Perfect progressive forms, have or has been plus first form plus ing. The second one, past tense. For simple case, we used second form or past form of the verb. Progressive forms, we can use was for I, he, she, it. Were for they, we, you. A plus first form plus ing. The third form had a plus past participle for all types of subject. Perfect progressive forms had been plus first form of the verb plus ing for all type of subjects. Finally, future tense, we can use will or shall or going to plus infinitive form or first form for simple case. For second form, will be a plus infinitive form plus ing. These form common for different type of subjects. Perfect forms will have plus past participle, and finally perfect progressive forms will have been plus first form of the verb plus ing. There is no change if I use different subjects. So, to clarify all the rules for verb tenses, I used some simple examples. Present tense for simple form, I play a football. Progressive forms, I am playing a football. Perfect forms, I have played a football. Perfect progressive forms, I have been playing a football. Now, if I try to change the subject of my sentence to be he plays a football. He is playing a football. He has played a football. He has been playing a football. Just I try to make the different, or to show you the difference between different type of subjects. For past tense, simple case, I played a football. I was playing a football. Third forms, I had played a football. Finally, I had been playing a football. Just for the progressive forms, we need to change was to where if I used we, they, and you. Change was to were. And there is another note related to first form of the verb and second form of the verb. Play, played. And the third form of the verb played. There is no change between the past and past participle. And just add ed for the infinitive form or basic form to be past or past participle. This type of verbs called regular verbs, which follow specific rule to change from infinitive to past or past participle forms by adding ed or d, and some verbs change it to change the final letter y to be I and add ed. But there is some verbs called irregular verbs which aren't follow specific rule to change from case to case, from infinitive to past or past participle. For example, write, wrote, written. Buy, bought, bought. And there is some verbs doesn't change anymore. Cut, cut, cut. In this case, we need to memorize and keep the verbs in our mind to use it in our sentence. Finally, future tense. I shall play a football. I shall be playing a football. I shall have played a football. I shall have been playing a football. If I want to change the subject to be she shall play a football, she shall be playing a football, she shall have played a football, she shall have been playing a football. Still, there is no change if we change the subject of the sentence. I hope the lecture is useful, and thank you.